Residential construction is the backbone of the economy. So, in this video, we'll analyze the impact of the residential construction sector on the overall business cycle. In our last three videos, we outlined the EPB 4 economy framework, discussed the leading economy, and highlighted the importance of the cyclical economy. The leading economy gives us an early warning sign of future changes in growth and employment by tracking various measures such as real money supply growth, the yield curve, and new home sales. The cyclical economy is the first time we measure growth and employment directly, but only for the construction and manufacturing sectors, as these two industries are the most sensitive to changes in monetary policy and have the largest booms and busts. The cyclical economy is the engine of growth or the pulse of the economy. The rise and fall of the construction and manufacturing sectors determine the strength of the overall economic cycle. In our most recent video, we discussed the details of the manufacturing sector and how durable goods manufacturing and motor vehicle manufacturing, most specifically, are the key drivers of the overall manufacturing sector. In this video, we'll focus on the second part of the cyclical economy, the residential construction sector. Together, the manufacturing sector and the residential construction sector make up the cyclical economy, which is the most important of our four economy framework. It's often said that housing is the business cycle, and this statement is true. However, it requires an explanation and some nuance. As many of our followers know, the economy moves in a sequence with leading, cyclical, aggregate, and lagging data. Since housing is generally considered a leading indicator, most people lump all housing data into the leading bucket, which is not accurate. Building permits, the volume of new home sales, and the volume of existing home sales are leading indicators. These measures can move quickly based on changes in monetary policy. They can move in a matter of days or weeks. After changes in the volume of sales and building permits, then the construction process starts, and we measure the number of housing units being built or the dollars spent on residential construction. We also track the amount of employment associated with this residential construction. The production and employment associated with residential construction is what we track in the cyclical economy, and this is the part of the sequence where the statement housing is the business cycle applies. If there's a downturn or an upswing in residential construction and employment, that is what really drives the broader economy. After changes in construction, we can see changes in home prices, which is a lagging indicator, often incorrectly lumped together with the earlier data. People often think that home prices are a leading indicator and are thus frustratingly confused when prices lag the broader economy. So, to summarize, building permits and new home sales are examples of common and effective leading economy variables. Residential construction activity and residential building employment are cyclical economy variables that are the most predictive of recessionary conditions alongside the manufacturing counterparts that we discussed in the previous video. The cyclical economy is the driver of the overall economy. Upturns and downturns in the cyclical economy most often occur simultaneously in both manufacturing and residential construction because these industries have many interconnected elements. However, on rare occasions, like the 2001 business cycle, a downturn only occurs in one of the two critical cyclical economy industries, but that is less common. This chart shows no sustained downturn in residential construction during the 2001 recession, only about a 4% decline, but a major downturn in durable manufacturing in that 2001 recession, a 14% decline. So it's worth tracking residential construction and manufacturing separately, as we commonly do, as well as in a collective cyclical economy index, which is a staple of our monthly business cycle trends reports. The entire cyclical economy takes production and employment for manufacturing and residential construction. This combined basket makes for the most effective single index in business cycle analysis. There are even more detailed ways to slice this analysis that we incorporate in our monthly reports. Often we look at residential employment and manufacturing employment together and residential production and manufacturing production together. We call this cyclical employment and cyclical production. Generally, employment and production move together, but there are times, such as today, where production can fall faster than employment or vice versa. Bringing it all together, so far we have outlined the entire four economy framework, including the leading, cyclical, aggregate, and lagging economy. The leading economy gives us an early warning sign of future changes in growth and employment by tracking various measures such as real money supply growth, the yield curve, and new home sales. The cyclical economy is the first time we measure growth and employment directly, but only for construction and manufacturing. Within construction and manufacturing, there are a couple narrow subsectors that are really the key drivers, including residential construction and durable goods manufacturing. It's important to track these subsectors as standalone indexes as well as a cyclical economy collective. Even more detail is created by analyzing cyclical economy employment and cyclical economy production. So, if you're able to analyze all these details, you can put together an extremely precise understanding of exactly where the economy stands today, what the future risks are, and what may happen to the aggregate economy, which is the next part of our business cycle sequence and the focus of our next video. If you're interested in these indexes, as well as a structured and repeatable process for tracking the business cycle, click the link in the description box below to visit epbresearch.com and learn more about our business cycle research services for investors and corporate management teams. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.